Saints. My name is Marianna.
Hi Saints, my name is Jeffrey.
I am Marianna.
I am Bivan Tessie.
In today's fast-paced world, many of us struggle with the demands of our work life, spiritual life, and also our personal life balance. Can we balance all these three without feeling stressed in this one life that we've been given? Well, we'll know more about that on this episode. Hi Saints, welcome to another amazing episode of Catholic Faith Forum brought to you by Dominican Media. I am Marianna, and on today's episode, we'll be talking about work and personal life balance. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere because I have a very distinguished guest with me on this episode. So, if you want to see him, wait a minute. We're going on this break right now, and we'll be back. Welcome back, Saints. Yes, this is still Catholic Faith Forum brought to you by Dominican Media. And as I said before we went on that break, we're talking about work and personal life balance today. With me here on this episode is a distinguished gentleman. Yeah, he's a married man. He's a family man. He's a workaholic. Are you correct? Sorry. He's a married man. He's a family man. He's a spiritual person also. And he is also a licensed HR professional. He currently serves as a managing director at Blue Eagles Executive Training and Coaching Academy and also Blue Eagle Executive Business Consulting. Many thanks to it, Abby. You should know that the person I have here with me is none other than Mr. Joseph Ogundari. Thank you very much, sir, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you are looking ravishing. And today we are wearing black.
Did we plan it?
Anyway, I am so glad you joined us today.
Good to be here.
So how long have you, your HR journey, how long has it been?
Okay, my career has been over 2 decades.
Wow.
I think I've given over 2 decades to corporate Nigeria. I was the usual 9-to-5 person until 2016. When I decided to take it off from there, I thought I'd gathered enough to be able to give back.
Okay.
I thought I'd seen enough to be able to give back. I thought I'd experienced enough to be able to do something much more personal.
Okay.
So I'd not always been an HR person. I went from customer service. Okay, so I'd gone from admin to customer service and then back to HR. And then in HR, I focused on learning and development, much more in the business consulting space, so I'm in that space where I impact people, train corporate professionals, both local and internationally. And I'm a work-life advocate, I'm very concerned about that because I see professionals also drop dead and die all the time because they are doing what has not been placed in their hands. There's this need to understand life. And that's where I am right now, okay? I'm in the learning and development space, business consulting world, doing what I love doing, just living life.
Yeah.
Not just existing, but living life,
Yeah, there's nothing better than actually doing what you love to do in this short life that we've been given.
Even if it's 200, it's still short.
Well, that is it. Yeah, sure. So now we're talking about work and personal life balance, but then some people might not understand what work life is. Can you just explain?
So where do I take this from? Okay, work life is actually very scriptural,
Okay, explain.
The story of creationism as presented by scripture says that God worked for 6 days and rested on the 7th day, right?
Yeah.
So that talks about the importance of work. And for those of us who have also become spiritual, like some would say spirikoko, sometimes don't tend to understand that the relationship between the divinity and humanity is not that of perpetual takeover. I'll explain what I mean. Okay. It shows and it's clear that in our relationship with God, God has his role to play, and you also have yours to play. So now I will not know where the church's position is, for example. I'm speaking now not just as that HR professional, but as a Catholic as well. I would not know where the church's position is, where you speak about, I get up in the morning and I don't feel well. Maybe I'm hypertensive. I just don't feel well. Okay, so this pericoko, I'm using that word pericoko because, it's where many have gotten to today. Some people would say, it's a Sunday morning. A holy day of obligation, right?
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to do? Go see the doctor? Or go to church and meet Jesus? So those who probably will get it wrong will think that I should run to church. And if I run to church and I drop and I die in church, have I really done what God wants me to do? Okay. Work life is part of us. Whether you're a lay person or priest, child professional, whatever corporate level you are, a market woman or whatever, work life actually calls you to understand the difference between living to work and working to live. So some people would say we live to work, some would say we work to live. Okay, it is important that you and I come to grips with the fact that we actually work to live. Yeah. We don't just live to work. And so getting to that point is very important. And then it helps you to begin to position things, do things, and address things in your life the way you're supposed to do it. So it's supposed to be even an integral part of our spirituality, that we understand how to position things, what to do, when to do it, when to pause, when to move again, when to take actions, when to rest. Okay. It's important that people understand the fact that God rested on the seventh day, and I should rest every day too.
Exactly. Okay, so yeah, you just talked about having time for everything. What can you give us, some few time management techniques that one can use to be able to balance all of these things?
Well, first and foremost is that you need to learn to find yourself. Okay, so Socrates would say, an unexamined life is not worth living. Yeah. So you go on to add, man, know thyself. Everybody knows themselves. Okay, you will understand that time is one thing that if we waste, we cannot recover, we can't get again. Okay, and so we cannot afford to play with it. So we must learn to understand what works for us, first and foremost. We must also understand how fast we can be when it comes to our deliverables. If I give a task to my staff, I know the speed with which individuals work. So I have someone that before I give to the rest, I will call 2 hours before, because I know how she works. Okay, she's the kind of professional that would naturally want to reflect as she moves, as she's going. But the other ones will probably focus on their deliverables. So understanding who you are also help.
Yeah, understanding who you are. You've spoken about know thyself, and you're also speaking about, from an executive point of view, speaking about knowing the people who you're working with, right? Okay, so you hold that thought because we want to go on a break right now. Let's get to know who the saint of the week is.
Who says you can't become saint even though you get married? Well, today we travel back in time to the 13th century to bring you the life of a noble woman whose simplicity knew no bounds. I'm talking about Saint Elizabeth of Hungary, also known as Elizabeth of Thuringia. Born in 1207 in Pressburg, now Bratislava, Slovakia, Elizabeth of Hungary was a princess, the daughter of King Andrew II of Hungary and Gertrude of Marianna. She belongs to the royal house of Apard, which gave her a life of privilege and wealth. Despite her royal heritage, Elizabeth's story is one of personal humility and a deep Christian faith that led her to dedicate her life to charity and service. At the age of 4, she was betrothed to Louis IV of Thuringia, who was a prince in what is now Germany. God will know. At this young age, she was sent to Kassel, where she was raised in Louis's household to prepare her for her future role as his wife. She was deeply influenced by the Christian teachings and examples of the nuns and religious women who cared for her during these formative years. Elizabeth married Louis IV in 1221 when she was about 14 years old. Na so, lover girl. The marriage was harmonious and loving, and she had 3 children with him: Hermann, Sophia, and Gertrude. Louis was also a devout Christian, and their home was a place where faith and charity flourished. Elizabeth, despite her noble position, lived a life marked by simplicity and generosity. She frequently gave away much of her personal wealth, spending her time helping the poor, caring for the sick, and supporting the needy in the region. Abi now, givers never lack. In 1227, while Elizabeth was just 20 years old, her beloved husband Louis died suddenly while returning from a crusade. Bless his soul. Devastated by his death, Elizabeth was left with the responsibility of raising her children and managing the estates. However, her position became more difficult when her brother-in-law, Henry Raps, took control of the family's land, seeking to reduce Elizabeth's power and status. But guess what? Despite these challenges, Elizabeth remained steadfast in her faith and charity. Talk about dedication. In the wake of her husband's death, Elizabeth chose to live a life of greater poverty and devotion. She joined the Third Order of St. Francis, a lay branch of the Franciscans, dedicating herself more fully to serving the poor. She lived in a poor house that she had established in Kassel, where she cared for the sick, the elderly, and the impoverished. Her daily routine included prayer, manual labor, and works of charity, and she lived a life of extraordinary austerity. St. Elizabeth's deep faith and charitable works led to many miracles attributed to her, both during her life and after her death. She died in 1231 at the age of 24, likely due to the physical strain of her rigorous life. She was buried in Marburg, where a shrine was built in her honor. Elizabeth was canonized by Pope Gregory IX in 1235, just 4 years after her death, due to the extraordinary nature of her life and the numerous miracles attributed to her. She is one of the most beloved saints in the Catholic Church, particularly in Germany and Hungary. She is the patron saint of hospitals, nursing, widows, and poor people, reflecting her deep commitment to serving those in need. Her feast day is celebrated on November 17th. Her life stands as a powerful example of selflessness, charity, and devotion to Christ. St. Elizabeth's ability to balance her royal duties with her profound spiritual life and care for the less fortunate makes her one of the most beloved saints, inspiring countless Christians to live boldly. Be a Saint Elizabeth in the life of your brethren. On this note, we say, Saint Elizabeth of Hungary, pray for us.
Welcome back, Saints. Yes, you're still watching Catholic Faith Forum, brought to you by Dominican Media. And I am Marianna, and today we're talking about work and personal life balance. With me on this particular episode, I have Mr. Joseph Ogundare, and he has been dissecting this topic. So let's dive right in. Okay, so I want to ask this particular question. Now, this is kind of personal, yeah? You've talked about managing your time and knowing what to do at the right time. So what is your morning routine like?
First thing is to wake up. and be grateful to the owner of life.
Yeah.
As I tell myself every day that life is a gift. It was given to me, and I'll give account of it every single minute. I will give account of it. So, first thing first, when I wake up in the morning is to, by privilege, I'm privileged to be a Christian, and I'm privileged to be a Catholic Christian too. It's a privilege because there are those who perhaps don't have it.
Yeah.
So I say my prayers. I say my prayers in the morning. The second thing I do is, as a professional, and this is one of the things I tell everyone to do, I invest in what I call my personal development time.
Okay.
Okay, so I take time to either read something, because at some point in my life, at every time in my life, I am reading a book.
Oh, okay.
Or I'm
Early in the
listening to.
morning?
Yes.
Okay.
I can take a page and I'm done.
Okay.
Okay, so my personal development time in the morning is 1 hour. So you say you wake up 5 a.m. and I'm having 45 minutes to 1 hour prayer. So I do another 45 minutes for personal development time. So reading is part of it. And then I do what is called morning mindfulness. Okay. You know, I need to be able to project. I say, know what your day is going to be like, speak into your day, know what you want, know what you want to do, know what the likely challenges you have will be. So I want to look at my day, you know, do a bit of projection. And then after that, they said exercise helps you. I will not come and lie that I exercise every day, you know, but sometimes I just try, you know, in my little space, you know, do something from YouTube, something very fast. If I want to wait to put on something and go outside the house, it will never happen. You know, so I just try, you know, in my own little space, and then from there, I think once it is from 10 a.m., you know, I start taking the work for the day, except when I have to be in the training room, and I have to leave home very early. So sometimes I have to cut a bit. So, but there's one thing that is present in my day. I am very intentional.
Yeah. And that's what you subscribe to everybody. Intentionality is key. Yeah. Okay, so now how can we set healthy boundaries between work and personal life, especially with the rise of remote work? Most times people, you know, you're just sitting in the comfort of your home and you're working from home, and you sometimes lose track of time. So how do you set your boundaries, like for someone who is in that space?
Believe me, 24 hours has been given to every single human being. If you make it 48 hours, the same thing will happen. If you're not faithful with the one you have, even if more is added, you will not understand. The way life runs, do you understand? You need to be able to apportion time, you know, to everything, and that is what matters. So that's what I want to put it. Apportion time to everything. The greatest deception of remote work is for you to think that you must continue to work. So you can work from morning and work into the night. And at the end of the day, when you sit down and look at these things, you ask yourself how much you have achieved. Achievement is different for everybody. It depends on what achievement in a day means to you. If achievement in a day means I am there just working on my laptop, I don't have any family that disturbs me. Then I want to just live my selfish life of me, myself, and I. I can focus on my work throughout the day. But if I know I have a father who wants to hear from me every day, if I know I have a wife I must talk to, I have children I must parent, you know, I have staff I must talk to, you find out that you need to be able to apportion time to all of these things and ensure that if today was the last day you have on earth, and you cross over to the other side and God was to give you the privilege to look at that last day, you will say, I got it right. You know, so technology has come in, and for me that's one of the biggest things. We're supposed to be using to our own advantage, but we're using it against ourselves.
Most times we overwork ourselves and just...
Yeah, we overwork ourselves. We don't understand the place of technology in work life.
Okay, so as a husband and a father, how do you manage you know, your time? How do you manage your work time? How do you manage your personal time? And what will you say to those who are also career people, but then have children to also cater for, but don't even have much of that time?
As a family man, one thing is clear for me. I've seen lots of things go wrong. The father's chasing money, the mother, the wife is chasing money, and things are going wrong with the children. I think sometimes as a parent, you must understand that funding does not amount to parenting. That I built a beautiful house, my children live well, there's a driver to take them around, there are housekeepers to attend to them, does not mean that I've achieved what I'm supposed to as a parent. If I cannot be present as a parent, then I shouldn't be a parent at all. And there are sacrifices I must make at some point. Chase the money from now till tomorrow, you know. And the way we chase this money is like we don't believe in the God that says he'll take care of our daily bread. So again, I can shout our Father in church on Sunday and forget that God is still my Father. So some are thinking of that wealth that keeps for that third, fourth, and fifth generation yet unborn.
Okay. So, sorry, I would like you to hold that thought. We need to go on a break right now. Let's get to know more about our faith.
Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Omoba. Do you know that song? Finding your vocation is an essential part of living a fulfilled Christian life. Hello and welcome to Know Your Faith series. I am Amaka Ozo. Amaka we no dey disappoint. And on today's episode of Know Your Faith, here are 5 ways to help you discover your calling. 1. Deepen your prayer life. Prayer is the foundation of discernment. Spend time with God daily in prayer, asking Him to reveal His plan for your life. Be consistent in listening and seeking His guidance. 2. Receive the sacraments regularly. Frequent participation in the Eucharist and the sacrament of reconciliation helps us to grow in holiness and clarity. Through these graces, you will find strength and wisdom to understand God's will. 3. Reflect on your talents and desires. Experience different roles in the church to see where you feel most fulfilled. Take time to reflect on your talents, passions, as they are clues to your vocation. 4. Seek guidance from your spiritual mentors. Talk to a priest, spiritual director, or a trusted Catholic mentor. They can provide valuable insights and help you navigate your journey of discernment. 5. Be open and trust God's timing. Discovering your vocation takes time, patience, and an open heart. Trust that God will lead you to the right path in His perfect timing. Keep saying yes to Him every day. Trust that God has a unique plan for you. With prayer and guidance, you will discover your true calling. What step will you take today to discern your vocation? Share in the comments below. That's all for today. Subscribe to Dominican Media. You can follow us on Instagram at KYF_series and me at Amaka Ozo_. My name is Amaka Ozo, and until next time, be bold, be Catholic.
Welcome back, Saints. You're still watching Catholic Faith Forum, and I'm still handing over to Mr. Joseph Ogundari. Yes, we were talking about, balancing family and personal life.
So for me, it depends on what, success is for everyone. Whatever you define success as would help determine where you place your work life.
Yeah.
So work life naturally is being able to live regardless of your career, your family relationship, your extended family relationship, your spirituality, how you bring in friends and everyone into it. You understand? So the important thing for you is to be able to understand what you are chasing. Okay? What does success mean to Joseph Ogundari? Success means being in that place of peace. Okay, so the work-life journey has always been success, work-life balance. Let us separate between work and life. HR professionals will tell you, no, that is impossible. Let us integrate.
Okay, so what does the integration mean?
So integration means that while we are keeping to our personal life, we can still keep working.
How is that possible?
What that means is that I don't necessarily have to separate. I don't necessarily have to apportion, that from this time to this time I could be working. From this time to that I can never work. The world of work has gone beyond that. Okay, so I can say I'm not working from 6 p.m. But then a 500 million naira contract talk comes in. That's work, right? So what do? Say no. Even my guardian angel will ask me why. Okay, so we're trying to see how we can both manage that. If I know that anything could come in, I learn how to manage my time. Some people have gone from integration to work-life harmony.
Okay.
So you should get to that place where it's a place of value, okay, for many. But whatever it is, whether you're balancing, integrating, or harmonizing, the important thing is you get to that point where, if, like I said before, you look at yourself at the end of the day and you can say, today has been a very fulfilling day. Okay? So for me, that is one thing we must first and foremost understand. And that bringing that into life generally, you will be able to know where to put things, how to put things, and how to plug in everything that is connected to you.
Okay, so in this fast-paced world now, in present day, a lot of youths are majorly trying to secure the bag and forgetting that, they probably should also invest in their social life. So how can you say, as a youth, one can manage their career, still excel in their career and also still have a social life?
Because so someone said the glory of the youth is in their strength and their restlessness. Whatever that means, it's fine. So there are young persons coming up, they're experiencing life in their own way. Especially because they came into that generation where they don't understand what it means not to have a phone.
Okay.
Can you imagine what it means not to have a phone? I'm speaking to a Gen Z now.
Ha.
Okay, so I'll tell you that in those days, if I wanted to go to Ibadan to give my grandma a message, my father writes a letter and I'll go to Ojota and take a bus. Just to take a letter to grandma. So when I get to grandma, I read the letter to grandma. Grandma will dance a bit and then maybe cook for me and I'll eat. And then, if I want to come back, I'll have to take grandma's message. Pray to God that grandma's message ends it there. Because if it demands that your father sends another message, you're going to go back again. But that is solved today by what? A single phone call. So the world has shifted, Nigeria especially. Thank God for Obasanjo's administration that allowed GSM to come in and where we are right now. For the young person, it's important that they keep chasing what they want to. They have time on their hands. Okay, but you must be able to define for yourself what you want in life.
Okay.
Because that would determine how you plug things. It is important that you're not deceived by everything you see. Because everything that glitters on social media, for example, that gives you direction in life. I'm going to just speak this to them. Know what you want. Okay? It will help you to determine where you are each time. And how you want to continue that journey. Life is a marathon. It's not a 100-meter dash. But as much as it's a marathon, you are also not too young to die.
Exactly.
Okay? So the important thing is, are you fulfilling your purpose? You need to find your purpose, and then you would be able to plug in every other thing. That's what I keep saying. Find yourself. You plug in everything in and around you. Makes it interesting.
So most times, you just spoke about life being a marathon. Most times we want to keep working because we have a goal to achieve. But then you are exhausted. So for someone who has a goal to achieve, maybe a certain thing you're supposed to achieve in that particular day at a certain time, would you say that that person should take a time to chill because of the fact that, the human body is not firewood? Or, just keep doing what you're doing, continue going. Don't stop yet.
I'm not a doctor. But I'm sure any doctor too will naturally tell you, listen to the signs of your body. The truth is, whether we are spirits having a human experience or we are human with a spirit, whichever way you want to explain it, the important thing is you are body and spirit. And as body and spirit, you're limited by time and space. Okay, so everything that makes one tired, everything that makes one want a little more, comes in. So learn to pause. Okay, learn to pause. We've seen people while on their workstation die this way. Some have sat on their chairs and they've slumped. I've worked in an organization where almost every month, doing night shift, I'll have to carry one staff to the hospital. Okay, so, and my philosophy at that time was always simple. If you're not well and it's not safe, you can't work. HSC first rule of work would say, if it's not safe, don't work. And that safety also speaks to what my body says. If my body isn't carrying it at that time, and I know I'm not just trying to be lazy, and I know I'm not just trying to use escapism, I should listen to what my body says, you know, at that time. And so if there's work to do, and I have the energy, why not? If I don't have the energy, why should I? So I should be able to pause and say, I'll come at this later. Or if I can delegate that duty, why don't I just delegate and have someone step in for me?
I have learned from this episode that work-life and personal life balancing is not just a destination, but it's a journey. So yes, you're out there, please make out time to rest, make out time to have time for your family and also your spiritual life. At this point in time, we've come to the end of this episode. I want to say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Joseph Ogundari, for joining me on this episode. Thank you very much. We've had a great conversation. For you who is watching, I would like you to comment, subscribe, and tell us what you've learned in the comment section below. Follow us on every social media platform at CFF on TV. Till next time, keep being saints in jeans and shirts. Oh, we're going to find out more about that. We're going to know more about that as we continue.